Somebody put in the comments a question, which is, how do I market myself as a financial advisor? Interesting question. I've done other videos on the difference between sales and marketing. I guess let me start there. Let me define marketing. So marketing is not sales. So if the question is, how do I acquire clients? How do I generate new revenue? That's actually sales. When you ask me, how do I market myself as a financial advisor? That's a little bit different question. So let me tell you the difference. Marketing is really about your reputation. Think of it as a community of clients that's sitting out there, looking for a financial advisor, but you don't know them and they don't know you. Call that your market. So let's just all agree that out there in your community, there is a number of potential ideal clients. That's your market. So Marketing 101, when you take marketing in college, they teach you that marketing is really a question. The question is, of that potential market, all those potential ideal clients of yours out there, how many of them know your name and know what you do? They know you exist, and they know what you do and what makes you better than others at what you do. That's marketing. It's how are you getting the word out in your market so that a high percentage of your potential ideal clients know who you are and know your reputation for not only being great at what you do, but being different and better than others who do what you do. That's marketing. So advisors do this different ways. I think actually the way the industry teaches financial advisors to market themselves and to go out and build a reputation in the community for, doing a great job and being different and radically different than all the other financial advisors out there. I think the typical marketing for the typical financial advisor is a bit dysfunctional. So I'll kind of limit this to how I've always marketed myself. I just go under a simple premise that has worked well for me for 4 decades. And the premise is this. Everybody I know, and I'm going to say literally everyone that I know, knows at least one person who meets my ideal client profile. So I knew even in my 20s when I was, just starting out in the business that, my friends, which back in those days were just other broke, recently graduated college kids, but, the people that I know are not going to become not only ideal clients, but frankly, most of my friends couldn't afford to work with me at all. So I got frustrated by that at first until I realized the key issue here, and that is that everyone's a referral source. If you will accept the premise, and I encourage you to accept this, if you accept the premise that everyone you know knows at least one person who meets your ideal client profile, well then, everyone's a referral source. So what do you do about that? Well, you make it your job to guarantee that literally everyone that you know, and I'm talking about your friends, your acquaintances, everybody that you know in your local community that cross paths with you in any way, shape, or form, make sure they understand what you do and what makes you better than others who do what we do. Okay? So the way I've always done that is when I'm sitting down with a friend just catching up, I might just go schedule time to have coffee with someone, just to catch up. Personal meeting, I'm talking about just interacting with friends. You sit down with people for no ulterior business motive whatsoever. I'm saying in every single one of those scenarios, I'm sitting there grabbing coffee. At some point in that little meeting, it could be just 20, 30 minutes where I'm catching up with a friend, I always insert something that I call a vignette. And it's at the point in the conversation when your friend turns to you and says, "So Mark, what's going on with you in your life?" And I am prepared with a little vignette. It's a client story of a client that I have really radically changed to the better. They've come in with a significant financial issue. We worked over time to resolve it. And in a minute and a half or 2.5 minutes at the max, I tell a little vignette story with a beginning, a middle, and an end where a client comes in climbing a wall of worry over some significant financial problem, and I help them out. It wasn't easy, but they lived at the end, they resolved it, and they lived happily ever after. Imagine if you met with me, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 times a year. We're just friends catching up. What if every time your friends meet with you, you came prepared with a little story of a client that you knocked their socks off by resolving a big financial issue? And, that's how I can guarantee you that of all my friends and acquaintances, literally everyone that I know, they know what I do and they know how to articulate to other people what makes me better than others at doing what we do. And so when they're out in the world with me not around, when they've got someone that they know or like or care about that is struggling with some sort of a significant financial issue, my name will pop into their head. Why? Because people remember stories. So I've told them a bunch of stories about how I've helped clients, and one or more of these stories will pop into their head, and they'll refer to me. So this is what I call marketing. You're planting little seeds. Every time you meet with a friend, you're telling them a little hero's journey of a client who is the hero of the story, who you resolved something for them, and they were very grateful for the fact that you did it. And that's marketing. You're building your reputation out in the community. Let me just leave this by asking you point blank, of all the potential ideal clients in your community, what percentage would you say know your name and know what you do and know what makes you better than others at what you do? If you perceive that it's probably a very low number, well then it's the problem you need to ponder. How are you going to, like me, get the word out in the community that you're open for business and that you're better than your competitors? For me, I like the idea of having an army of marketers out there. What better than all my friends to be out there in the community singing the gospel of Mark Little? So that's it for this. That's how I recommend you market as a financial advisor. And if you have other ways that have been working successfully for you, put them in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. So until next time, I'm Mark Little.